Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be able to speak to you both today. First of all, congratulations. You literally had me crying my eyes out, laughing out loud multiple times through the film, which is also always a good reaction, I suppose. Coming to the premise, I mean, there's something so wonderful about it, of these imaginary friends. It seems to get a really great balance of humour, of heart. You're sort of celebrating the imagination, but it's really rooted in this very stark reality, particularly about loss and grief. When you first read John's script, what was the appeal for you?
I think that very thing, that it stood on very good ground. You know, it is about a past. We haven't seen each other in the story for a while because she lost her mum, who was my daughter. These embedded griefs are very sad, and you don't want them to overwhelm the film either. So they're kind of just coming to terms with it rather than getting over it. And then the dad gets ill. So it's a very good springboard from which you then have this explosion of the imagination. And you have all these wonderful creatures that appear in her mind. But it wouldn't work if it hadn't come from somewhere quite profound, don't you think?
I agree. As soon as I read the script, I just immediately connected with it. I think it's an original idea, so obviously I hadn't seen anything like it, but I don't know. I think it was just a mixture of every emotion I could think of,
yes.
You know? And I think it's a very positive thing, and our world is very dark right now, so I think this is the light that it needs.
And in terms of your characters, playing Bea, I mean, she's precocious, she's got this amazing confidence, but, you know, you can see she's got the weight of the world on her small shoulders. How could you relate to her, and how did you approach playing her?
I think we have a lot in common. She's very curious and adventurous, and she's kind of stubborn, which is very much like me. I think she goes out of her way to get what she wants, and when she sets her mind on something, she just kind of goes for it. But
and you understand sorrow somewhere.
I do. She's very emotional, but she kind of pushes it in, which I'm like that too. So.
Okay.
And her grandmother, not your average grandmother, she's got a bit of a spring in her step. And of course, they sort of have this slight strange, you know, meeting, because they do have a past together, but they haven't spent that much time in the years since. But you can see there's a connection there, and some great
artistic. I think that's probably, they both are artistic. The grandmother's artistic, and also lives a completely wonderful New York life. So in one way, it's a great celebration of New York living too, and. You know, she's living on her own for a long time, but really enjoying it, goes out all the time, has a good time. And you know, in those windows behind in the scenes, you have the whole of New York available to them. So there's something magical about New York too, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely.
As the character in the film.
Yeah.
And I guess, like a lot of people that are going to come watch the film, it had me thinking, God, who was my imaginary friend, or who would I like it to be? So I don't know if you were thinking the same. I guess I would hope that mine would be sort of as composed, as witty as Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but I'm not sure it would be. Who do you think would be yours?
Phoebe Waller-Bridge would be my imaginary friend, and is. So I think I've won the jackpot.
Yes, absolutely. I just met her like 10 minutes ago, and I just...
You'd like
she's so awesome.
Yeah, she's lovely.
She's perfect.
And being on set, I mean, it's just so amazing how they put together, you know, the animation, live action.
Breathtaking, isn't it? It's breathtaking.
It reminded me of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and, you know, in terms of how well it's like seems completely seamless. But also working with John, and of course Ryan Reynolds, who I think he's got, you know, that comic timing. But in this role, you sort of see, you know, he's kind of melancholy in this character, while also nailing the humour. So what was it like working with these people?
I had very little to do with well, I agree with everything. I've seen everything. Yeah, I felt he was very, very good in these scenes with you.
I think he was so good. I look up to him so much. I mean, Ryan's amazing. Everyone knows. But I just learned so much just by watching him. He's so creative. And the way, I don't know, he would just always just throw out ideas that I would be like, I would never have thought of that if he didn't say that. So I think it was just cool to watch him work. But everyone knows he's hilarious, but he's very sweet, and he has a big heart. And I think you get to see that more in this movie.
And in terms of the takeaways, I just love that this is a film that can work so well on so many levels. You know, the kids are just going to be blown away by all the characters. But also as an adult watching it, you do really want to reconnect with your inner child and, you know, not let go of that childlike imagination and wonder, which can actually help us navigate, you know, everything that might be happening right now.
And even the men, you know, journalists who've come, they've all cried. So it makes grown men cry, doesn't it? That'd be a good headline. Makes grown men cry. Not just grown ladies cry, but grown men cry.
For me, I think there's so many things to take away from it. It made me realize, you know, I was 15 when we shot, and 18 is like adult in America. So I'm 17 now. I don't feel like an adult or even close to it. But I realized that growing up is scary, but it doesn't have to be. You know, and I think watching the movie just really helped me understand it, and working through it. It's just, I mean,
yeah, and that children have inner resources, that they can escape the, the parental terrifying life that waits for them over 18, but they can escape for a while. And that's a tool that can stay with you all your life, which is why we all need it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with me, and I
Thank
really can't wait
you.
for everyone to see If.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
So
It's
nice to
meet
chat to
you.
you.